So what a start. Second cast and we're into the first fish of the session, and the rod just smashed round. And madness, the river's got a lovely colour to it today, and when we first arrived on the river I said it looked like it was in fine form, and this barely any bait has got into the swim. It's come on the second cast. Bodes well for the session ahead. Have a look over the tactics we're going to be using today in a minute, and hopefully we can get this fish in. I've done a few sessions this year, but one thing I've learned is when you get them in the edge, it's never over. They always go on that last run, and it is a barbel, it's just turned in the flow. And hopefully this time when he comes in the edge we can get him in the net. And there's that lovely barbel. Hello and welcome to this week's blog. What a way to start. A lovely £5 barbel, and we're on the banks of the River Severn, and hopefully the first of many. It's bank holiday weekend and it's quite warm, so let's get this barbel straight back and get the rod back out in the river. What a start. So having a bit of problem with debris coming down the river pulling the line, but it's taken for about half an hour and 4 or 5 casts, and we're into fish number 2. Doesn't feel as big as that first one, and what a beautiful little barbel that is. And there we go, fish number 2, and the fishing at the moment is going to be as good as me tan. Cracking. It's a warm day, but that is a lovely looking barbel. Look at the colours on that, absolutely fin perfect, and good sign for the river ahead. With fish like this in the river, it's got a future, and yeah, a really good sign for the river and a sign for the session. Let's have a look at the setup that we're using today to catch these barbel and get this little guy back to where he belongs. Let's get him straight. In these warm conditions, a large landing net is essential. Give them fish a good rest before they go back, and if you're doing any blogging like I do, give them a good rest before you even think about unhooking them and putting them in front of the camera. This guy, been blogged, he's been in the net for about 5 or 10 minutes, and it's time for him to go back. And back he goes. So, set up for the session, I've got my 12-foot Corbin twin tip. I've got a Corbin shadow reel loaded with 10-pound line. I've got that down to a Corbin low resistance run ring, on which I've got a Dinsmore's open cap feeder, which I'm going to plug either side with the ground bait. Got a bead on the line to protect the knot, and obviously the run ring can't go over that. A sleeve to aid separation on the cast. As you can see, nice and simple and neat. When it sits on the line like that, doesn't tangle on the way out. We pull that back, you can see there, just a simple quick change swivel, push that over, push the bead over, nice and simple. And I've got 10-pound Drennan suplex because we have got a bit of flow on today, to a size 12 hook and a banded Sonia Bates pellet. So what we'll do now, we'll have a closer look up at the components that make up the rig. So closer look at some of the components that make up the rig. We've got the camel running rig clips, on which your feeder will attach. We've got them down to the buffer beads. I've got a quick change swivel on. We've got my main line, which today is £10 suplex. A size 12 hook, and they're the rig camo sleeves that we'll be using today. And one thing that I have found useful is this 6 compartment clamshell that Corum do, in which 90% of the components that make the terminal tackle can be stored. It's a handy, as you can see, it's small and magnetic so it stays together, small enough to fit in your pocket, and dead handy for just carrying around on the sessions where you're coming for barbel, where you're not using much terminal tackle at all. A fantastic little bit of kit. So bait for the session, you'll have to excuse the combine in the background. Cheshire particle hemp and a couple of pints of it. I've got some ground bait left over, which is marine halibut from Dynamite Baits. In there there's a bit of corn and a few pellets and a bit of hemp, and it is actually the ground bait that I had left over from the River Y session that I'll link at the top of the screen now. Put it in the freezer when we finished, and generally with all baits, if it smells okay and it doesn't smell sour, it's good to go. On the hook I've got an 8mm Sonia Bait spicy sausage pellet, and I've got some 6mm to go in the mix. And that is the bait that we're going to be putting in the feeder today for the session. So them components that you've just seen there, all in action, and we're into the third barbel of the session. One thing I can guarantee is it's probably going to be bigger than than barbel number 2. It's just holding nicely out in the current. I say it doesn't feel massive, but with the extra flow on, it's just great fun. And what a start to the session it's been. 3 barbel. I say when they come close in, they always have that lunge. And this year been doing more barbel fishing than I've ever done. I started doing a few sessions last year, and it just whet my appetite for barbel. They really are something else. And in the recent comments on the video, people have said that they've never caught a barbel and they mean to go out and give it a go. And the only advice I'd give you is just go out and do it. You won't regret it. Absolutely great fun. There's just enough clarity in the water today for you to get a glimpse of them as they come up before they turn. And there we go, you can see there he's come up, and he'll probably have one last pull. There he goes. Always have one last one. Let's see if we can get him in. Fish number 3, £6, 3 ounces, the best fish of the session so far. And yeah, got the evening to come, and hopefully we can pick up 1 or 2 more as the evening cools. But what a start it's been. 3 barbel and lovely colours on this one, dark browns and orange fins. Let's get it straight back. Into another barbel, and it is building into a nice session. And say that feeder's gone within 3 minutes, 4 minutes of me putting it back out, and could be in for a very good evening, because really with the sun on the water, and when we were driving down here I thought we'd wait till, you know, evening for the chance of a bite, but this extra colour in the water and the pace has obviously got the barbel on the feed. And the temperatures today have been over like 25 degrees. That sun has been absolutely baking. So we've chose a swim with some shading, And like I said earlier on, giving them barbel plenty of rest before do the blogging and unhooking them. Give them plenty of time before they go back. So what felt like a decent barbel has turned, I thought it felt really big, has turned into a foul hooked one. I think he's foul hooked in the side. When you foul hook them, you lose any control or direction of, you know, pulling the fish towards you. And just take your time and try and get him in. You can see he's hooked in the top of the fin. And when you think you've hooked one of the biggest barbel in the river, it turns out to be probably the second smallest of the session. So we've one barbel resting in the net, the one that we hooked in the fin. Put the rod back out and we've got a lovely bend in the rod with the sun on the trees in the back and a nice little small barbel. And in fishing we have fine lines, don't we? Sometimes they come off, sometimes they stay on, but on the good sessions they stay on. Another day you get one bite, foul hooked it and it comes off. Today, absolutely bite a chuck. Fish number 4 of the session and number 5 is waiting in the net. Fantastic fishing, and what a lovely barbel. Holding its fin up proud. Fantastic day's fishing. Second fish of the brace, and literally can't keep a rod in the water at the moment. Fish number 5, and all in mint condition. Absolutely lovely fish. The lovely colours and not a scale out of place. You can see an absolutely beautiful fish. Second fish of a double take, and I say literally the rod's going in the water. We can't keep a rod in the water. I'm going to put a couple of pictures on screen now, because we had on the banks with my mate Steve, and he's had 4 in between all these ones that I've been catching. So I'll pop a couple of pictures on screen now of the fish that Steve's caught. Great session. I'm moving in on the party, the ever-present chublet, snaffling that pellet and a proper wrap on the tip, but nothing like them barbel. Them barbel are something else. Let's get him straight back. That swim, we had 9 barbel in total from that last swim, and about 3 hours ago we come up here and put a bit of hemp and pellet just on this line in front of these trees here, just where the shadow starts. There's been 1 or 2 barbel topping since we've arrived, and yeah, hopefully fishing just into the dark we can get a barbel on the bank. Not too long at all. The rod, literally just recorded that clip saying we've moved pegs, and the rod absolutely hooped over, and we're not fishing too far out here. On the other bit we were fishing quite a distance over the river, probably halfway to 2/3. Here, just on that white water, and we're probably on the limit of what the GoPro can actually record in. And obviously fishing into dark is going to present its problems with filming, so I'll do my best, and hopefully you've enjoyed the vlog to this part. It's been great fun in the sun. Literally it's been a scorcher today, but great fishing, and I can't wait for the piking to start. A lot of you lads love the piking, but I tell you what, when the piking starts I'm going to miss this barbel fishing. This year I've thoroughly enjoyed fishing for these barbel on the Severn and the Y. Kettle's on in the background, and a well-earned barbel and a brew. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable warm day on the bank, but yeah, we're getting to the limit of what I can record now, and it's been a long day. It's bank holiday weekend, so I'm going to enjoy these last hour or two of the session, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting one or two more of these lovely barbel on the bank. Let's get it straight back and get the rod back out there. Into dark, barbel number 14 for me and Steve, and it's lovely just sat here listening to the owl in the background, a lot cooler than today, and just waiting for that rod to hoop over. Great fun. There we go, probably the smallest, well, equally smallest barbel of the day. The one this morning was quite small, and this guy nearly pulled the rod off the vest. Unbelievable take. And then it had me under a tree to my left, and I thought it was going to be a chub. And what a feisty little character this is. Absolutely. What a take. That the starlight bent double, struck into it, and this little guy. Barbel number 15 of the session, and a lovely fish. Let's get it straight back. A special fish to end the vlog. It's my 20th barbel of the season, and a little bit of a landmark for me, because like I say, didn't do much last year, and this year they've made a concerted effort to get out more on the bank and target these fish. So yeah, a nice way to end the vlog, just under £6, and with the stars above our heads, it's a lovely evening, and let's get this lovely fish back straight away. Thank you very much, girl, and what a fabulous day on the bank. Thank you very much for watching. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch you all next time. Tight lines. And to those who have stayed on to the very end of the video, that is the best barbel of the day. £7, 6 ounces, and a proper way to end the vlog. So to you guys who stayed to the very end, thank you very much. Tight lines, and this time we definitely will catch it all next week. Tight lines.